Well, it's time now for business, and for that I'm joined in the studio by Stephen Carroll. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Haxie.
You're starting with a new report that's been looking at the effect of the pandemic on the demand for energy worldwide.
That's right. It's from the International Energy Agency, and it says that demand for energy isn't likely to recover until 2023 at the earliest, and potentially as late as 2025 if the effects of the pandemic are prolonged. Now, demand has been hit by the slump in the global economy. It's also helped to cut CO2 emissions linked to energy production by 7%. Now, in 2020, the report estimates that demand for oil will be 8.5% lower than in 2019. And it says that growth in oil demand could stop within 10 years. For coal, they're predicting an almost 7% slump, while there's a slight increase in demand for renewable energy. The overall reduction in demand for energy just over 5%. The IEA's chief Fatih Birol saying that he believes solar power is becoming the new king of electricity generation, but that major new investment in renewable energy will be needed for the world to achieve the goals set out in the Paris Climate Agreement.
OK, Stephen, turning next to Airbus, where unions have been meeting management to discuss planned job cuts.
The aerospace giant is cutting 15,000 jobs, 5,000 of them here in France. And on Monday evening, unions agreed to the cost-cutting plan, which they say will avoid any compulsory layoffs. It will see some staff placed on the government's long-term partial unemployment scheme. Airbus has scaled back production of commercial aircraft by 40% because of plunging demand. Yuka Roya reports.
A sigh of relief for the thousands of Airbus workers in France worried about losing their jobs. A labour agreement reached between the plane maker and major trade unions is meant to prevent forced layoffs.
On peut dire qu'on est satisfait du résultat. Ouais, tout à fait.
Ça me rassure, bien sûr.
Pourquoi? Vous aviez peur, vous?
Bien évidemment.
The deal comes a month after the head of the company warned that voluntary redundancies may not be enough to cut costs. It paves the way for reducing 5,000 jobs without forcing people to leave. The plan involves putting 1,500 staff on a new government-backed partial activity furlough scheme. It also counts on people to retire early, while also creating new jobs in developing hydrogen planes and encouraging staff to set up their own businesses.
C'est notre vision, c'est qu'on est en bonne voie pour faire en sorte de sauver des salariés d'un départ contraint. Mais c'est tout un processus qui va se mettre en route maintenant, derrière. C'est-à-dire comment, si vous voulez, on arrive effectivement à avoir ces volontaires.
That's where concern remains. Airbus has said it will re-evaluate the situation in 6 months' time and renegotiate the deal if not enough people have signed up to the voluntary redundancy programme.
Let's take a look at what's happening on the markets next for you. We had a big rally on Wall Street on Monday, particularly led by technology shares. Everyone getting very excited about the launch of the new iPhone. But we're not seeing that carrying over into trading in Europe today. Just very small movements on the markets at the open. A rise in Chinese car sales not helping to boost car makers' shares in trading in Europe today. In Asia earlier, we had a similar picture, just moderate moves on the main markets there as well. No trading in Hong Kong today. That's because of a typhoon that's affecting the city.
And Stephen, the pandemic is provoking something of a shake-up at Disney. Tell me more.
The entertainment giant has suffered mixed fortunes in recent months. It recently announced that it had to lay off 28,000 people at its theme parks in the United States. But it's signed up more than 60 million subscribers to the Disney Plus streaming service, which launched less than a year ago. The company is reorganising its whole business now around streaming, which of course has boomed during the pandemic. Disney recently premiered its new Mulan film on streaming for $30, as many cinemas had been closed in the United States.
And finally, from you, eBay is investing in a system to ensure the authenticity of shoes sold on its platform.
Specifically, sneakers or trainers, or depending on where you're from in the world, runners even, I would say. eBay is now implementing new checks on the sports shoes that it sells on its website. eBay sells a pair of sneakers every 1.5 seconds, apparently. Last year, 6 million pairs were sold in North America alone. The resale market is huge, and that's why the auction site is stepping up efforts to ensure that new and second-hand pairs selling for over $100 are authentic. Research from the investment bank Cowen says that the resale market for sneakers is worth $2 billion a year in North America, and it could be worth $30 billion worldwide by 2030.
Looks like we're in the wrong business, Stephen.
Certainly are.
Stephen Carroll with a look through the business news. Thank you.